All right, Pete. Time to talk about your favorite character in this conference. I think that's fair to say. Is Deion Sanders back at Colorado in 2025? He has the press conference on Monday and basically says, finally reveals what's been going on. I know you and I have both talked about this on air, speculated about it on air. It's been questioned in the question of a lot of Big 12 fans' minds throughout this offseason. What's going on with Deion Sanders? We finally got an answer on Monday. Pete, I know you were tuned into this one.
Yeah, I was tuned in. That's why I had Kevin Borba from Locked On Buffs on my show this morning, because I kind of wanted to tee it up. Yeah.
What a move. That's a pro, man.
I can produce a little too. That wasn't Scotty Swingler making that phone call. So, but first of all, one thing about Deion, I love how football people or people like you make me feel like I'm the one with the issue because I like Deion Sanders. That is great. That's
you
great.
Can like him, but top 5, I'm just not in.
Yeah, I mean, really, like, it's like, wait a minute, like, this is one of the best cornerbacks of all time. He's literally like come into college football and hit it over the head with a baseball bat. I mean, like it or not, he has. And like, he went to almost the college football playoff last year. They had some missteps late, but like, and we're talking about this guy like, oh, like you like Deion, but come on, guy's a great coach.
Be damned if I like Deion.
Yeah. So I think that today was another day where, again, like Deion kind of defied the odds, because it's like when I saw that there was going to be a press conference, I did not believe, just because he was at Big 12 Media Days, I don't think you plan for a press conference where Deion can't coach. I honestly, like, if Deion wasn't going to coach this year, I would have thought like they would have just announced it, because something would have been very, very wrong in that moment. So the fact that they were holding a press conference, I figured it was probably decent news and some revealing stuff. And once again, this guy defies odds. One, by beating bladder cancer. That's pretty amazing. Two, here's this guy. And this is why Deion is more like Dave Aranda than he's not. Here's this guy sitting at a podium, big, tough Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, one of the baddest dudes in the world, talking about bladder cancer and how now everything has changed with him internally and he can't pee like he used to. And
he's having fun with it. He's having some fun with it.
He is depending on depends. Like, great. I mean, that's like the guys, nobody wants to talk about that. That's up there with like, what do they call that? When you're sexually
ED.
When you have ED. Yeah, that's up there
some
with ED.
reads on that on the Locked On Podcast Network, so I can say that. Yeah.
Yeah, ED. So like, but here's Deion Sanders like destigmatizing this whole thing and doing a little bit of, hey, everybody should get checked. Especially African American guys. I know my black brothers don't like going to the doctor, but you got to go. I mean, and it was like, wow, like it was a reminder of some of those intangibles I talked about that he brings. That is just like, I'm like, who are we watching? This is really, really cool that he's doing that. And I don't think, and again, this goes back to one of the reasons I say he is one of the best coaches in the Big 12. He's not overly involved. Yeah. Like, and you could maybe take a shot at him for that, but I think he'll be just fine being just fine and not 100% or 100%.
Well, so this is kind of going into my next point, and it's probably the last thing I'll ask you here. Is like, for those like me, right, the football guys who are, don't necessarily need the Deion shtick as much as we need Deion to win 10 games, right? There were a lot of us that were skeptical, and I'm going to put myself in this because I had half a mind of thinking, all right, not that there's nothing wrong with him, because clearly there was something wrong, but it's like, is this kind of the first way that he can get out of this before we knew it was bladder cancer? Like, his kids aren't there anymore, and Travis Hunter, who's like a third kid to him or third kid on the team last year, is not there anymore. I think we all questioned whether Deion was going to continue to coach at Colorado when it didn't have a direct influence on his kids, and that was he going to have the dedication to do this 365-day-a-year job. And not only is he doing it, but he has beaten cancer in the spring, and now he's coaching in the fall. Like, what is that? What should that do for those who aren't like you, Pete, that aren't all in on Deion Sanders? Should that like change people's minds about Deion Sanders, the football coach, the college football coach?
I think it should. I think it shows. And honestly, I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't think the same thing for a second. Like, oh, maybe he's like, this is pretty interesting door to walk through now and get out of here. If this is legitimate, which obviously it is. I just think like we underestimate this guy as a competitor and just like a overall like bad dude who wants to win like crazy. And I also think we underestimate. It's like I talked about off the top, like something's happening at Colorado. Like there's not necessarily a bunch of toys there this year. They've actually got like some blue collar stuff, like some meat and potatoes. Like the entire roster has been getting so much better since Deion arrived. Yeah, you can't replace Shedeur and Travis Hunter. You can't. And if the play at quarterback sucks this year, they could be screwed, right? But like, I think that there is like an internal part of this team that has become a good football team.
And you're gonna need to kind of going off that point, you're gonna need to probably trudge through the mud this year. You're probably not gonna be a Big 12 contender, and you're gonna have to do that without the idea that next year we'll still have Travis and Shedeur the way they did in 2023, right? Like they're 4-8, and it was a mess, but you knew that there's kind of this light at the end of the tunnel. It's also interesting how much they went through the transfer portal every year that he's been there, and now you're gonna need some continuity. You're going to need to keep those guys there after what could well be a tough year this year, both the coach and the team. You're going to need to keep those guys there. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, there's no question. It'll be super interesting like it always is. One of the things Coach Prime said at Media Days, it was the first thing he said, and this again, like whatever. I sound like beating a dead horse now or a broken record, but like every single game that they played was on like either linear or like ESPN 1 or 2. And there were like, I don't know, like a handful or maybe no other. I think Ohio State and stuff. There weren't many other programs in the country that had that, set aside for them. Like, you're either on Fox, ABC, or ESPN or ESPN2.
Yep.
And that's impressive, dude. And like, I feel like he's into that. He's into the growth that Colorado's experienced, but he's also, I think he looks at his football team and he's like, I think we're pretty good. Like I think he does not think he knows they're way better than that first team they had, right? Mm-hmm. And he says they're a better team than last year. They just don't have the stars. So we'll see.
We'll see what it's like. It's going to be one heck of a conference this year. Pete Sousa of the Pete Sousa Show and Inside the 12. You can catch the Pete Sousa Show live on YouTube every weekday, 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 Eastern, right on YouTube. Get involved in the comment section. A lot of Baylor talk over there, so go check it out. And for those of you watching right now, get involved in our comment section. Let me know what you think about Pete's top 5 list, who's going to surprise you this year, and what it means to have Deion fully back and into this thing. Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe. Helps out the channel a ton as we are on the march towards 4,000 subscribers. Thank you for making it your first listen today and every day. And we will see you tomorrow on your favorite show, Locked on Baylor.